Oh, well, that's...
You don't see any phone booth stickers over there?
My other car's a tortoise.
They don't say car, they say mobile. They're mobiles.
I can't wait to watch the downloads from the UK just drop off a cliff.
I want the death threats, man.
I was gonna listen to that song enough this week that I could sing a pretty good chunk of it, and I listened to it once and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I did not make it. Welcome. We made it to our 100th episode.
Yeah.
And we're here to talk about Buster Keaton. You're here with me, Tyler Harris, and
Justin Hammer.
Tyler McKinley.
Gwen Hammer. Riley Harris.
You guys went. I can't hear you anymore. But my name's Mitchell.
Shouting on a megaphone from the UK into Tyler's basement, Mitchell Marshall. Holy shit!
Now,
so
of course, I can hear you again now. Right after my cue, I was trying to read Riley's lips.
Yes, so we have our old friends back with us, Riley and Mitchell. Riley, how are you doing?
I'm great.
What have you been up to? What do the people need to know? That
everything
missed?
You've watched since you were last on here.
Well, quarantine was busy. Just been in school for 10 months full time.
Oh boy.
But now I'm done, and that's the beauty of trade schools.
That is the beauty of a beauty school.
Yeah.
Man, great. And Mitchell, fill us in. Here's the thing. When you left, I was like, I think on the next episode, I was like, am I supposed to tell people that he's gone? I feel like I should leave that to him. So I was like, well, Mitchell's gone. Fuck you. But now that you're back, now you can give your official description of your departure.
I've got to say, I think I've only missed 3 episodes because somebody had to go and get infected.
That's true.
But yeah, I moved across the pond, so it is 4:11 in the AM right now here.
Oh yeah, I just remembered that.
I am looking to increase my education / I couldn't find a job, so I was like, how do I live in another country for a while? How do I get locked in a room over there? So I'm in the greater London area. I don't want to be too specific, in case, the fans.
Right, yeah. I'm pretty sure that 10% of our lifetime listens of this podcast have come from London, or the United Kingdom at least. So there's some people over there.
Yeah. That's what the YouTube views say.
All 2 of them. 2 on every video.
I mean, our Twin Peaks and Game of Thrones ones have, in the double digits.
Oh,
so.
hey,
snap.
Yeah. Oh, man. Presence on YouTube plus time equals at least a few accidental clicks.
Yeah.
So that's good. Great. Well, I am going to... Can you unlock this? I'm ready to do my thing. Okay. So we watched... We got a great setup going on over here. We watched 3 Buster Keaton shorts. We watched 1 week, The Neighbors and The Scarecrow, and I was going to recap them, but then I was like, this shit's free on YouTube. This is our 100th episode. So instead, I'm going to recap our podcast for everyone who this may be their first episode. I'm going to recap our entire podcast up to this point.
All right.
I literally had this idea 10 minutes ago. I know that last week I also improv'd a thing where I did a rap and immediately regretted it. Let's see where this goes. Last week's on Rewatchers on the Wall / Rewatchers in the Lodge / Rewatchers on the Pod, we watched Game of Thrones, and it went great for a while. Then we watched Twin Peaks, which also went great for a while, and then sort of got good again. And then, after that, we watched Porco Rosso, about Michael Keaton being a pig, The World's End, where a bunch of people drink beer, The Spoils of Babylon, where Tobey Maguire and Haley Joel Osment turn into the performances of their careers, Haunting of Hill House, where there's hidden ghosts everywhere, and you can't read a fucking article about it with someone pointing out 37 ghosts that you don't give a shit about. Robot Jocks, which is just, man, I think about it all the time, and God, I want to live in that world. Then we watched Blade Runner 2049 on the suggestion of our then featured guest, Gwen Hammer, now main correspondent / chair inhabitor. I'm like trying to think of a like cutesy term. Fuck it. Oh, now I gotta get to the next page of episodes. And then we watched Strangers on a Train with our good friend Casey. The only other time that we've had someone Skype in, and likely to have the same amount of success. Then we watched Home Alone for Christmas. Then we spent 4 hours talking about our favorite things between the years 2010 and 2019. Then we watched the better version of Black Swan. Then we watched a movie about Amy Adams learning to talk to aliens. Then we watched Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson do his best Bruce Willis impersonation. Then we watched Jurassic Park. It was fucking good. I have no jokes about Jurassic Park. I don't know. Then we sang in the rain. We dove into the absolutely terrifying world of parenting with the Babadook. We left the city and went to the burbs. We we watched Fighting with My Family, mainly so I could make everyone watch real wrestling and then talk about it. Then we got quarantined. That feels like forever ago. We watched Mother by Bong Joon-ho, which was just absolutely delightful. Then we just started really watching our favorite movies: Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, There Will Be Blood, Pan's Labyrinth, Life of Pi, Hamlet 2. Everyone's favorite. The best movies ever made. That was the theme for those episodes, I'm pretty sure. And then we just decided to continue that. We watched Underworld, which I wasn't here for, but that episode was choice. Con Air, where Nicolas Cage has long hair and crushes John Malkovich against a pedestrian walkway. Or electrical wires. Yeah. I can't remember. Anyways, fucking good. Then Godzilla 1998, which does not have Matt LeBlanc in it, which I totally thought it did for years and years. Then we watched Step Up 3. That's all. We watched Step Up 3. It has a surprising amount of downloads, I want you to know, Mitchell. Then we moved on to SLC Punk, Uncut Gems. We did a just masturbatory, almost 3-hour episode about The Last of Us 2. Then we watched Birdman. Then we watched the lesser version of Perfect Blue, which then led us to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, Surf Ninjas, Speed Racer, Interstellar, The Truman Show, 101 Dalmatians, Die Hard, Psycho, an episode where me and Tyler talked about weird stuff. Then an episode where we all talked about weird stuff after we watched 2001: A Space Odyssey. Last week, we watched Over the Garden Wall for Halloween, and someday we will watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Don't know when it's going to be, but we'll get there. And that's our podcast. So if you haven't listened to any episodes before now, you are now caught up on all the narrative threads. Let's call this our season finale. This is so if you missed out, this will be, you're not going to understand everything that happens tonight, but starting next week, oh man, you're just going to be right in the thick of it. It's a great time to pick it up.
You'll get all the jokes.
Oh, so many jokes. I like to think of this podcast as a joke. It's it's kind of that. But yeah, and this week, like I said before, we're going to be talking about Buster Keaton. I mean, I could do a summary of Buster Keaton shorts. Whoa! Wacky! Holy shit, how did they do that? Oh, that's wacky. Holy shit, how did they do that? It's over already? That's it. That's how I felt watching 1 week, I feel like. But yeah, had anyone here seen Buster Keaton before? Like a full thing? I know there are like a bunch of clips and stuff that people see sometimes, but no.
I had seen the general in a film class for college.
Okay, great. Yeah, one of his that's probably one of his more popular ones. I think the only full length movie I've seen of his is Sherlock Jr. But yeah, I guess I should say we decided to watch these because these were all released in 1920. I mean, Buster Keaton, if you want to feel shitty about your own productivity in 2020, just know in 1920, when film was still even more of a pain in the ass to do than it is now, he released 7 shorts. And they're all decent. Like, they're all pretty good. So, I don't know what lesson to take away from that. But yeah, what are you guys'
You
thoughts?
then look at his personal life, and then you realize...
Oh my God. Did you guys
yes.
see the bit about his death?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so he got cancer, terminal cancer. He was never told that he had terminal cancer, so he just, was in the hospital waiting to get better.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So sad.
And, was visited by his friend to play, I don't even remember what, the day before he died.
Jeez.
Holy shit, guys!
That is nuts. There's someone had to get fired over that, right? Were his last words why is this happening to me? And they're
It
like,
was
oh, fuck.
1966.
Yeah, I was like, this is the 60s,
So-
so no one was fired.
I think they were still putting women to sleep to give birth then, so I don't...
Oh my god.
Oh, my God. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, really?
Oh, I mean, of course it, oh, God.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Sorry,
man.
derailed that.
This is landing right on me the way I did not think it would. Oof. Anyways, okay, so impressions of Buster Keaton. Anything that you guys kind of thought of as you were watching through these shorts that we watched?
I was so impressed.
He's a very talented stuntman.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
for sure.
I was just so impressed at how much they did with no sound. Obviously, that's the way it was done, and so that's how they had to do it. But
Yeah.
just looking at how it was put together, how much is put across is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, it really is incredible. And there's so much about the performance. I mean, it's so different from what you're going to see in a modern movie. But even just looking at I've definitely watched a lot more Chaplin stuff from the same era, and even just seeing the differences in their portrayal of characters, Buster Keaton has a much more grounded approach to all that stuff, whereas Charlie Chaplin was very frequently playing that same character, the tramp, in a lot of his things, which has its own distinctive thing. But just the way that Buster Keaton conveys emotion, and even just the resolute way his characters will make decisions, where he's just all of a sudden backing his car into the house so he can drive 2 huge nails through the seat of his car into the house so he can continue to tow it. It's just fantastic. I love all that stuff.
That's the thing. I was laughing out loud frequently. It was
Yeah.
amazing. How had I never seen any of these before?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so fantastic, and it is crazy to watch. And I mean, I immediately thought of Jackie Chan when I watched a bunch of these things, because it's you can clearly see these very obvious connections between the two, and their commitment to crafting just insanity is really great. But yeah, any other thoughts or anything from people who it was their first time?
I really liked the intricacies that went into the set building, because they had to build the set planning on these elaborate stunts to be happening, and it was really cool to see that, whereas in a lot of movies we watch, it's just a really basic set with CGI layered over it.
Sure.
So it was cool seeing something that was real.
That spinning house was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know how they did that.
They fucking just built it.
On a house.
The guy was like, we're going to build this fucking house on a giant, what are those fucking called when you have them on the tables at restaurants that spin around?
Lazy Susan.
Lazy Susan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then...
That was a band term at my house because my mom's name is Susan. She fucking hates that.
I just can't imagine, because film was in its infancy during this time, so
Yeah.
it was I wonder how that worked with producers and getting money to do that shit, because that would have been very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just be like, hey, so we want to spend hundreds of thousands. I don't know how much it was, but it was probably only like tens of thousands.
Well, it was $12, but in today's money, it is like $500,000.
To build a whole house
Yeah.
on a giant turntable and run a train through it.
I feel like
So we gotta hire a train.
Yeah.
Do you have money for that?
Yeah, train boy. What's your budget look like? Yeah, I love that also that builds to like this ridiculous joke where that old man like flies out the window and he's like, thanks for inviting me to your merry-go-round. Let me know when you have the hobby horses installed. It's just like, it's a dumb joke, but I love it so much. Oh, it's so good. Justin?
but when you only have so much dialogue, it
Yeah.
just I wanted more speaking. And so when that was one of the few title cards, I was like, what are we doing here? But
Mitchell Marshall
Hey.
goes into a silent movie, comes out complaining there's no dialogue.
It's because you couldn't look at your phone, huh?
I'm one of the only people that still defends the artist for winning Best Picture, okay?
I'm with you on that.
I do want to remark that they got a house for their wedding, and I feel like that was common fairly recently until, housing exploded. What was the most expensive things that the married people there, what is the most expensive thing that you got for your wedding, and was it a house?
It definitely wasn't a house.
No.
It's not a house.
Most expensive thing. One guy wrote us a check for $1,500.
Wow.
But that's a very rich individual who is very close ties with my family. As far as like objects we got,
Is he so rich that when he wrote you the check for $1,500, he's like, this will probably buy a house? How much can a house cost nowadays?
I mean, he had 4 of them, so I assumed he knew. His house in Provo had, it had an elevator. B, the other thing I remember about it is it had like its lights were like these fancy like wall-mounted lights. And they were like these like Pirates of the Caribbean carved golden monkeys holding these lights. And I was like, there was like the whole hallway was that.
Wow.
But yeah, everything else was like we got like 6 blenders of the same kind. So that's all I remember. What about you? The hammers. What did you guys get?
I don't even know.
The timeshare. Your
yeah.
aunt.
It was a vacation basically. It was like if you guys pay for airfare, we'll cover like the hotel arrangements or whatever. Because my like aunt and uncle have like a timeshare or something. They're like, you can use our timeshare anywhere you want to go. So yeah, I think we used that when we went to Hawaii, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Other than that, we just got mountains of Pyrex.
Yeah. So much Pyrex.
So
Dude, my
much.
favorite is the people that give you wedding gifts that are like, you can tell that they were the ones left over from their wedding.
Because it's got their names engraved into it.
Dude, I don't know who the fuck it was. Someone got us a conspiracy theory DVD, and like, I should have watched it.
I mean, I will say the most responsible thing you can do when you're done with a conspiracy theory DVD is pass it along so more people.
But it wasn't even
know.
I didn't watch it. That should say something about how uninteresting the conspiracy sounded. Like it was something like, oh man, did you know they're putting like baby rat poop in your Pyrex dishes?
I didn't. Tell me more.
I'm like, I don't give a shit.
I like it.
Oh no, it was opening your third. No, that wasn't it at all. It was opening your third eye.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And
okay.
now I remember. And I'm like, man, I can find so many of those on my streaming services right now.
I've got way more interesting ways to open my third eye on YouTube.
I listen to Tool, okay?
There's people that are editing videos that is Peppa Pig opening my third eye, so beat that.
Oh man, but that house one was like
Frightening.
that house short was fucking great. Like,
I think that was the best one.
yeah, I only watched that one in The Neighbors. I did not see The Scarecrow, but I really enjoyed both of them, and just constantly, like you said in your summary, it was just like, how the hell did you do this?
Yeah.
Also, I wonder if there's like a list somewhere of Buster Keaton's injuries, like because
sure,
I
yeah.
imagine like just even simple things like when he falls from the clothesline into the barrel and I'm pretty sure there was no faking that. Like
It's
he
just upside down in that barrel. Yeah,
I'm sure their barrel was special in some way, but like, and then he was upside down in the ground, and I'm like, man, filming this would suck.
Seriously. Yeah, there's I was actually showing Riley some other clips before we came over, but I'm trying to remember. It's a really famous shot in one of his movies, but there's one where he's on top of two buildings and he takes this plank and like kind of puts it on the edge of one, and it reaches about halfway, and he runs across it and jumps and totally misses the jump. And that wasn't supposed to, like, that's not how that was supposed to work. Like, he was supposed to make it. But he was very adamant about, like, if we don't get the stunt on the first take, I'm not going to do it again, which I think is very smart considering some of the things he did. But also it just shows this adaptability, because then the next shots in that movie are him falling like down the side of a building through like 3 awnings, then into another building, and then sliding down a fire pole, and like stumbling and sitting on the back of a fire truck, which then pulls out to go like to some emergency or something. Like, it's insane. But yeah, that's the kind of thing that he would get.
I'm because it looks like in some spots he used stop motion to like achieve some of these stunts, like in Neighbors when he flies through the building, is going down the banister, switches and like goes down the opposite direction. Looks like they just did either cut out frames and he just like they record the whole thing of either him just scooting then cut out frames, or they just did stop motion.
Yeah.
But then there's other parts that look like that, but I'm still not sure how it worked. Like the parts in The Neighbor where there's the 3 guys stacked on top of each other, and it looks even like a lower frame rate than is actually happening on the low frame rate of old movies. So I'm like, I don't know why you're using stop motion here. I don't know how you're using it.
Yeah.
The guy in the middle of the stack always had his butt sticking out. Like, he was kind of making a triangle. And I, why are you doing that? Like, what is it that's holding you in that position?
Yeah. Well, he did that, and then they jammed just a metal rod between it that he held between his thighs and his chest to just keep him from being crushed. So yeah, movies are crazy. Movies are wild.
Yeah.
Respect.
No unions.
Unions.
Oh, wait, there was a joke about, you didn't watch that one. There was a joke about the unions in The Scarecrow. She's like, she's in the dancers union. She can't stop dancing until the whistle blows. And after that, I was like, so do they have like an actors union? Are there any sort of safety measures? Like,
I don't know back then. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there was something. Obviously there is now, but yeah, that's a pretty good joke too.
I was like kind of surprised too, because I feel like modern comedy gets a lot of flack for references that are going to age poorly. Whereas they weren't like littered throughout, but there were a couple in here that were very much like of that time and weren't necessarily timeless jokes. Which I don't have a problem with. I think those are fine. But like I know a lot of people critique that, and
Yeah.
But yeah, like his Ford joke.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, stuff like that. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about the whole like Neighbors one. The whole that character who plays like the pastor, no, the judge.
Oh,
the judge.
yeah.
But then he's shoveling coal at the end. It's fucking everywhere. That man's face was made for silent film.
Yeah, it was, man. It's a good look. Yeah, I think that I think just the sheer commitment to all of that, like not only the stunts, but we talked about like the construction of like these things. I mean, I keep thinking about that ceiling when he's using the pulley to pull the piano in, and it's just like pulling the entire floor and ceiling in, and like all of that is so funny. Also, there's a joke that stood out to me is when she's in the bathtub and drops the soap outside of the bathtub and goes to reach for it and then looks directly in the camera. Yeah. And then the hand comes over the lens. I was like, that is that feels like a very modern joke. Like that is like probably an example of something that I'm like, man, I would not expect that from like this era of film, but man, it's so great. So great. Mitchell, what were your thoughts on the shorts and I mean, anything kind of along those that we watched?
Yeah, I just realized that we are kind of spoiled, and what he did with so little is incredible. Like, I still don't know how he did half of the things that he did. But I also thought it got old pretty quickly, like some of the same gags and trying to like run back a lot of the same slapstick humor and the cutesy stuff that he did. But overall, I think it's fun. I like that they were 20 minutes. I think that's about the perfect amount of time.
Yeah.
I also noticed that in the Neighbors one, there are prominent black characters, which seems like what like in the 1920s, that seems so weird to me because now we don't have black people in half of our movies.
Oh man.
God, yeah, I mean,
I don't know. The portrayal of them in that one was.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they were given hopes and dreams or anything. They were essentially props.
There was just a series of me watching it and just like a series of oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Like
Justin and I, when he starts,
I
going
had
after
to
the
stop
black
watching
men-
about halfway through when I realized it wasn't going to pass the Bechdel test.
I mean, none of them.
So I
could.
wanted
No
it to
one
be
spoke.
less racist because it was already sexist.
Oh man, Mitchell.
Mediocre music. Yeah.
Mediocre music.
Mitchell is not a fan
You know what?
of this era.
Tyler, you should redo these movies, but with Tool music in the background, and just see what kind of stories you can create.
I did-
what kind of vibe it turns into.
I did get a suggestion on YouTube by some guy who redubbed it over. Maybe I miss knowing who this is or something, but the title of the video was Neighbors, but with red hooker music. And I don't know what that is.
Oh, much better than Blue Hooker music. So much better.
That's the worst Blink-182 album.
Blue Hooker music. Very depressing.
I can only hear like 25% of what happens for some reason, so I just try and find a moment and be like, we're still talking about Neighbors? I got something.
Yeah, this is definitely there's some difficulties for sure.
100 episodes, ladies and gentlemen.
We should have made it so we're all on Zoom, but it's really very typical of us to just shit the bed on an important episode. That's so us. It's like me doing an intro. It wasn't meant to be.
Oh man, what a beautiful thing that we've created and forced to live. But yeah, anyways, I think we got derailed from that because I did want to talk about that. I feel like Gwen had a thought about that. You were saying something
yeah.
about
I'm sorry.
No, it's
you're
fine.
good.
It's fine. Just when he has his face covered in mud and looks over the fence, and the policeman's like, "Hey, I didn't quite get it," and then he starts going after the black man instead
Yeah.
of Buster Keaton. And Justin and I both said out loud, "Oh no," because our children were watching with us. Like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Do we have to have this conversation right now?
yeah. This, I mean, certainly, I will say, Neighbors certainly not the most egregious offender of using this trope by any means. But yes, definitely a thing that you look at and go,
I mean, it could have been worse.
yes,
Could have been a lot better.
yes.
But yeah.
Yeah.
It's still very current too, though, right?
Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah, some things I wish hadn't aged as well. But yeah, I think that this is one of those things. Like, I feel like watching these Buster Keaton things, it really is, to me, is just thinking about our dabbling in film and what we did. I'm like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I thought about that too. I think I appreciated this a lot more because of what we tried to do and
Yeah.
realizing how goddamn hard it is. I mean, part of that's I'm just fucking impressed that you can convince other people to do things. But you got more than 3 people to agree to make a. How'd you do that?
Well, I will say, like, there are quite a few interviews with Buster Keaton from later in his life where he just kind of talks about kind of that process. And he talks a lot about him and Chaplin and the idea of like, we didn't ever have a script. He's like, the idea that you needed a script to make a movie still blows my mind. It's like, Jesus. Oh man, these guys, I mean, they're just so, and I mean, we talked already about, I mean, he was the one that's like, if I don't get a stunt in the first take, we're going to have to find something else to do. And like, obviously he got plenty in the first take, and like that itself, like, it's this, I feel like it's such an interesting era of film too, to think about like the transition of like a performer from something like vaudeville and stuff on the stage to translating that to a brand new medium, and kind of like what Mitchell was talking about, like the idea that you know, we watched these 3 shorts probably within the last 2 days or in one sitting, where you're watching them back to back to back, and you think about how much that has even changed over the last 100 years. Like, how often did someone in 1920 see a movie? You know, I don't know the answer to that, but I'm sure it wasn't 3 in a week or anything like that, you know? And so, yeah, and even the idea that you would see a movie after it had left theaters, like that,
yeah,
it's not going to happen.
I mean,
you
I
know?
remember like even with as recently as, you know, like the 60s and 70s, like
Sure.
Growing up, talking to my dad and being like, "Oh my gosh, I fucking love Star Wars." Is like, did you know that like you could only see it in the theater? Like, you didn't have anything to play it at home. So I was like, what? Like,
That's why people would go and see it like 30 and 40 times, right?
yeah, and it would play for a longer time. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And like, that would suck. And then I think about, man, what are my grandkids, if I ever have anything, gonna be like? Man, you had to fucking wait through loading screens, and now it's already gonna go away. Like, next generations, I don't even know.
You
Like,
used to have to be awake for a movie? Movies are for sleepy time, dog.
I like the dog is coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to drag that into like modern. I'm just pulling it with me.
yeah, do people go to the theater to see these shorts, or do you think they were like, they rolled up in the wagon, unfolded their circus wagon, or like pulled out the piano? 25 cents. See a man spin a house.
I like to hope that like most technology, like film was really still pushed forward even in its infancy by pornography. Like, there were like those peeping Tom things that people would go and look into, and they were like, well, we've got these, we're out of pornography, this Keaton guy's got some stuff they suited in, and I'd like to hope that just the first like 100 people that saw were the most disappointed men in America.
they
We came here to slap some sticks, not watch slapstick.
Oh yeah, the wedding night. What? This man's carrying a piano.
This is not my kink.
I was surprised by that bath scene. How much yeah, I thought, I was looking. I was like, are we going to get a little slip here? I got a little excited.
That was quite a bit of
Pretty
sound.
risque for the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, there's a fascinating documentary somewhere about like the use of nudity in film and its
Gotta be.
restrictions as time went on and
Yeah.
fluctuated over time. I think we're going into a renaissance again of restrictions. People are more upset about nudity in film now than they were 10 years ago.
Who are they? Who's upset?
Well, look, here's
People who haven't been repressed for the first 20 years of their life, and now are like, yeah, okay, fine, yeah.
here's the thing.
Good.
Oh, okay. So not Utah.
Yeah, not us. No one here.
I've got this theory that the really left-leaning political people are becoming what like the old grandparent right-wing people were back like 10, 20 years ago, and the right-wing old people now are becoming Satan.
Everyone's just moving.
It's just a disc that's spinning to hell slowly. Train of
Because there's a lot more pearl clutching going on the left, and then the right is just like, let's just murder people. that aren't like us.
I mean, I will say, on the topic of nudity in film, we are seeing more penises. I mean, I don't think there's a single... I did watch Borat, the second Borat movie, and I'm pretty sure I saw a handful of penises and no boobs. So, we're getting...
Penises equal comedy, boobs equal sexy, apparently, in Hollywood, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, look at Game of Thrones. Anytime you see a penis, it's because you're supposed to laugh at it.
Yeah.
Anytime you see a boob, they want you to be like, oh, yeah. But every time I was like, this is...
feels wrong. Yeah, get your shit together.
I'm
Game
so
of
glad we
Thrones.
talked about this.
Listen, yeah, if they're not careful, they're gonna fuck up the end of Game of Thrones, and I'm gonna be shocked.
Oh my gosh, that's the thing the kids are going to complain about in the future. They're gonna be like, you were disappointed by shows ever? We just like have the ending that automatically reads our thoughts and makes the ending we want. On the new Apple overpriced piece of shit that doesn't have a jack for anything.
Oh my god, that's like an actual... Yeah, that's a thing. It's coming.
I'm pretty sure we just wrote.
I read it in a book.
Mirror
Okay,
episodes.
it's coming.
Did you read it in an actual book or did you listen to it?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Gwen,
Listen to the audiobook and then I bought the physical copy. I'm a bad person. It's in my basement.
Good. Now we'll know whose jurisdiction this crime falls under.
It's my fault when it happens, guys. I'm sorry I bought the book.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
It's crazy how looking back 100 years makes me fear the next 5. Man, I'm about spent on Buster Keaton.
Well, dude, because now we're going right into like deep fakes, different
Yeah,
endings. This is great.
got
Well,
into
we
the
gotta
world
we
before
referenced Game of Thrones. We gotta keep going until we reference Twin Peaks and go through everything.
Halloween Town.
Oh yeah, I was reminded. I don't know if you guys have seen our Instagram at all. Wait, does Halloween
We
Town
have an
follow us?
Instagram.
Don't do that to me. I've said it every fucking week except for the like 12 that I've forgotten
I
to.
thought we had a Twitter, a Facebook, and a
Oh
Twitter.
yeah, Facebook. We do have a Facebook. I have not posted on that in a very long time. There
No
are
one's on
grandmas who listen to this podcast who are like, I guess they didn't make any more episodes. Anyways, I feel like our
They try and direct message us, but they just comment on our last post. Are you dead?
here's some behind the scenes on the Instagram that Riley posts to because I am an idiot. For a long
Occasionally
at
I
the
post
beginning,
to it.
I was like, every week we shouldn't follow anyone, and then every episode we should follow someone who's associated with the thing we watched that week. But I'm pretty sure that fell apart after like 5 weeks because it's like we followed Edgar Wright, someone who did
right
like
here.
Miyazaki art. Oh yeah, let me redo your following. Sphinx cat lover. Why did we follow that? Is it because we were
I
talking
feel
about
like
cats?
because I just wanted to follow some Sphinx accounts, and they both follow us.
That might
2
be
Sphinx
true.
accounts follow us. So
Wait, sorry. What are Sphinx accounts?
Sphinx cats. They're like the hairless, like
Oh,
cats. Yeah.
I thought like they just had like a cool gamer tag name like Sphinx Cat.
That is great. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, Halloween Town, the official Halloween Town Instagram is following us.
we follow them.
Oh, we're
They don't
following them.
follow
Oh,
us,
fuck, yeah,
unfortunately.
shit. And then we also follow Wholesome Peaks, which is just wholesome Twin Peaks memes. But that's...
I don't even remember following that
it.
one. So
I
don't
might
know.
have done it thinking it was on my purse. Anyways, I'm just going to say it now. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at RewatchersPod.
Wait, do we still post anything on Instagram?
Yeah, well, I mean,
I post.
here's the thing. Riley posts stuff when I post on Twitter, which also
reminds
doesn't
me.
happen very
Gotcha.
often. But happened twice this week. So suck it.
All right, let's post a video now.
Okay, yeah,
let's
let's
just
do
do
it.
like
We'll do
Ones
that.
and zeros? What the hell was that?
That was practical effects, no CGI in honor of Buster Keaton.
I keep whacking this pop filter off.
The whole studio's gonna fall apart.
This is perfect. I love this podcast.
If there's ever an episode that like really defined what happens here, I mean the only thing that's missing is just more Mitchell and louder Mitchell. I feel like is the only thing that's missing.
You're not wrong.
Mitchell, how long?
You're not wrong.
Mitchell, how long is your is it a degree you're going for, or is it a certification? Do they call it something different?
It is
in
a
both of them?
master's degree, and it's 12 months.
12 months for a master's degree? Oh, yeah. Okay, no.
Yeah,
My brain's hurting.
Tyler, you're missing. The elevation is different, so you can accomplish what a master would normally accomplish in a shorter amount of time than in other locations.
Yes, it's like Interstellar.
It's exactly like Interstellar. I'm surprised when he landed on the planet, he's not like, I should get my degree while I'm here.
On oceanography?
Yeah, he's like, I mean, now that I've been to space, what the fuck am I going to do with all this knowledge? I need to pursue something else. Yeah, I mean, I feel like
another
I'm ready
movie
to talk
reference
about
that
other
we
stuff.
did.
Oh yeah, we have to reference all other 100 episodes before we can leave Tyler's basement. But yeah, I think we can probably go into recommendations now.
Yeah, I think
We'll
it's
go ahead and
safe.
take a quick break. But go watch some Buster Keaton. Or
Justin, play us out.
oh yeah, we've got our live band here for the 100th episode. Yeah. Our live band, meaning still just Justin. But I already told you about Twitter and Instagram. You can what's the other thing I say? Oh, you can email us at rewatchersonthepod@gmail.com. Fuck it.
That's for all the grandpas out there.
Yeah, everyone knows the G in Gmail stands for grandpa.
Grandpa mail.
That's why you get so many like things for erectile dysfunction.
Should we get a P.O. box?
What, for all the letter bombers out there?
I want death threats. I want to be famous enough for death threats.
P.O. Box, let's see who gets this. 36241 Peninsula Prairie, Michigan.
I almost said at.
Oh, God. Please, okay,
At
please
USA.
insert break here. Please, God, get us out of here. Welcome to the 100th recommendations. Oh, actually, that's not true. We just started doing recommendations late in the game
Oh, yeah.
because we started running out of. We started just talking about random shit in the middle of our episodes. I don't know.
Because Game of Thrones episodes took 6 hours, so we couldn't tack another hour on the end.
Seriously, so long. Oh man, just thinking back on that. Can't wait for the documentary to come out. It'll be hitting Apple Plus at some point. No one knows that's a joke because no one has Apple Plus.
Is it called Apple Plus?
I don't know. Is it called
called
Apple
Apple
Plus?
TV.
Apple TV. Fuck it.
Literally, no one has Apple Plus.
I am. That is true. All right, recommendations. Okay. Oh wait, I'm gonna pitch the next week's episode because I forgot to do it. I recommend you watch the first episode of the Watchmen TV show on HBO, and then listen to our episode about it next week, and have a.
So we're
good
starting with the show,
time.
not the movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's talk. I want to talk about that off mic because I have thought about it a lot, but let's figure it out. Watch Watchmen the movie too. Fuck it. Mitchell, what are your recommendations?
Okay. I'm going to need you guys to pretend these are all super interesting, and you're going to take those recommendations,
Had
okay?
plenty of practice.
Bachelor
with that,
okay,
Mitchell.
UK.
You mother. You're a tough crowd to play for. I won't list off everything I've watched in the last month, lucky for you, because I was in quarantine for 2 weeks. The first thing is a movie called Dick Johnson is Dead. and it is a documentary that a filmmaker is making about her father, who is legitimately dying. He has some disease that kills, and he like fakes his own funeral, and they just talk about life, and it's the most weird, out there, surrealistic thing. Maybe Tyler's already suggested that. I don't know. I don't care. The next one is The Queen's Gambit, which is kind of the hot new Netflix show, but I'm basic, so it's okay. It is really good, and Anya Taylor-Joy is spectacular.
Is it a show or a movie?
It is weird. What? Sorry?
Is it a show or a movie?
It's a show. It's 7 episodes. And it's about a drug addict, alcoholic, neurotic, chess-playing young woman.
You had me at neurotic.
Yes.
Oh, wait,
I figured
neurotic?
that would
Okay.
get you a 90. I don't know the difference between those words, Tyler. It's real good. I'm in love with her, so it's not weird.
She's a little young for you, yeah?
The next one is the Sacha Baron Cohen has done 2 good things in a row. Trial of the Chicago 7 is an Aaron Sorkin movie, and I love me a Sorkin movie. And it does some things wrong, but overall, really enjoyable. That's on Netflix as well. And then Borat 2. I've never seen Borat 1. I've only seen the clips and tried on, the ball shoulder thong. So I went in blind. And
own one of those. Thanks to Tyler.
I forgot I got you that for your bachelor party.
Speaking of quality wedding gifts, that was Tyler's most expensive wedding gift, and then he got his divorce, which is also not great.
It was also the cause of my divorce, which is a long story.
Oh. Now we can plug our podcast OnlyFans. Yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna stop there. I've been watching rugby, so that's made me alcoholic. So not much going on.
Are you like exploring a lot of new sports now that you're? Because I know you're in that world now, so it's like.
I would say the only sports I'm not that into or don't know that much about are cricket or rugby, and I am exploring them more to, be friendly and social. And I'm actually going to be doing a podcast with a professional English cricketer. Like, he was on England's cricket team for years. We walked around downtown last night, and people kept stopping and asking him for selfies. And I was like, oh, you're the most famous person I've ever walked around with, and I don't care. But
that's amazing.
He's going to teach me about cricket. So I've been studying and rugby and outside of that, I like them all, but it's been enjoyable just to go hang out with people who talk incorrectly and watch sports while consuming things.
That's awesome. Oh, that is awesome. I love that.
I get so much crap for being the American that, I'm going to take my moment here to relish this. Yeah. We won the war, bitches. Now guess who's in charge?
Please tell me.
I really love it here.
Please tell me when you're home, all you do is just play Hamilton.
I play it really loud on the tube so that everyone can hear it, so they know. And I wear a shirt with an American flag, and I'm like, "What up?"
That's
we
amazing.
make better art than you about how we crushed you.
Oh, that's incredible. Gwen, do you have, thank you for that that UK minute, Mitchell. We're expecting, I won't say I'm expecting, but our fans are expecting UK Tinder updates at some point. So...
Look. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to start recording voice notes to make your life easier, because let me tell you about Roxy from Romania. I met her at a lockdown protest in the middle of the street.
Yes.
And she hasn't texted me back, and my ego is a little messed up. Also, I lied to her about my age.
Older or younger? This is important.
A little younger, just a couple years. She's an au pair. If you hear this, Roxy, I didn't expect
but
anything,
okay.
but oh my gosh. Anyway, I'll send you. I'm going to start tweeting and I'm going to start sending you voice memos so I can still pretend to be a part of this.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. We probably need a
I
segment
already
of
tweeted.
voice memos.
I already tweeted for the first time. I forgot that Tyler gave me access, so there you go.
Oh, you tweeted on our account?
Yeah, go
Oh,
look.
nice.
You should look at it. Look at it while Gwen talks.
Okay. You should pull that up.
It was just now.
Gwen, what do you have to recommend for us?
I mean, not much to follow that. I'm just still working my way through the stand. Stuff's now happening, which is nice. Keep mixing up characters, which is not nice. And I gave up on waiting for Justin to watch Community with me, so now I'm watching it by myself.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you never wanted to watch it.
Well, he's got a month's worth of work ahead of him that I know we're going to hear about
That I'm
soon.
gonna have to do in 2 weeks.
Okay, but it's been like 3 months.
These are
since
adult
we watched
issues,
it.
Gwen. You want to understand.
Sorry, I'll just watch my childish show in the corner.
So how far into Community are you?
Season 3, I think I'm on episode 14 now.
Oh, shit. So you're like deep in it now.
Yeah, I'm a ways in.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
It covers up the darkness. It's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wait till you get to season 4, though.
Am I supposed to skip that one? I feel like I'm supposed to skip that one.
Here's the thing.
If you want to know what's going on with some people and get some references later, you're going to need to watch season 4.
Yeah.
All right.
I will say Community is one of the last shows I feel like that I watched week to week, like especially of a sitcom.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really deep in. I love Dan Harmon, so I was like following on Twitter at that time, like all those things. And so knowing kind of what's going on behind the scenes in season 4 really sours it for me. But there are several people that I've recommended Community to, and then have watched it, and like I'm like, oh, what'd you think of season 4? And they're like, it's fine. And I was like, oh. But there is the worst episode of the show in season
Which
4.
one is your opinion of the worst episode?
The puppet one with
That's
Jason
pretty-
Alexander and Sarah Bareilles.
I dislike that one. I Raise You, though, the second German episode.
That one's really bad.
That one's really, really bad.
Really bad.
Those the foosball people.
Yep.
Yes.
That's the guy from Parks and Rec who I can't stand looking at.
Oh, and it's a different guy.
Oh,
It is a
okay.
different guy, but it's exactly the same character.
But it's like the whole episode's like about them, and it's bad.
Yeah, no
It's really
thanks.
bad, yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah. So there's
The
definitely
foosball episode was great though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I was like legitimately gonna cry when he peed his pants.
That's
Poor child.
I feel like that's like a perfect description of what Community does so well. Like it's fucking ridiculous, but there are emotional moments where it like sticks the landing in ways that like just warm my heart, and I love it. I'm so
Yeah.
glad you're watching Community. It's
It's
so good.
sweet and I love it. And
Good.
that's it for this.
Community is good.
Thank you for your input.
Riley, what did you have to recommend for us?
Over quarantine, I watched Handmaid's Tale, and I love it.
What a time to watch it.
Honestly, it was really intense,
Sure.
and I was just staying up until like 4 a.m. accidentally, so I was watching it deep into the night. It was wonderful. Pen 15,
So good.
I finally watched that. Season 2 is amazing. I loved season 2.
Did you finish it? I don't know if we talked about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because we talked about the theater episode.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if you've done theater ever, if you did theater in junior high or high
Yeah.
school, go fucking watch Pen 15. The last 2 episodes will make you feel even worse.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot to take in.
So, it's so good. Oh, it's so good.
Animal Crossing. Been
Oh, right.
playing that. I have 5-Star Island. It's really exciting. I love it.
That
I
is
don't know how that works. Do you have like, is it like a standard rating system? Like, can you see how many people have reviewed it? Or
No.
is that not what I'm
It's-
talking about? Is that something different?
It's not. It's all about what Nintendo thinks makes
Yeah.
an island 5
It's
stars.
what they expect of you.
That
And
sounds
I
very
finally did
Nintendo.
it.
There
Yeah.
are fucking like spreadsheets of like, if you have this many trees
Mm-hmm.
on your island, you ain't getting 5 stars. You gotta cut some down.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's insane.
It's crazy.
Wow.
It's a wild
It's
world.
just
Yeah.
It's a little Orwellian.
not that Animal Crossing is not my thing. Nintendo's mindset is not my thing. They do things in ways. They make fucking cardboard controller toys. They made the Wii and the Wii U huge missteps. Somehow they're still like everyone's favorite shit.
Man, I fucking love my Switch. I did not think I'd ever be the
I
person
never
to say
play
that,
my
but
Switch.
I
I love my Pokemon Let's Go. I tolerate Breath of the Wild. I like Super Smash Brothers. That's about it.
Oh man.
Dude, I really I
like you to see what's happening.
Oh my
what are
God.
you, oh, is that your Tinder?
We're getting real-time swipes on Tinder.
Oh, these are swipes.
Mitchell. God.
This is incredible.
Wow. You need to start a Twitch channel where you do that. I'll watch it. You'll get as many viewers as this podcast does, which is us in this room. Riley, sorry, did you have any other recommendations? 10:15 Animal Crossing on.
Haunting a Bly Manor, I finished, and it was really good. It wasn't as like spooky as Hill House,
Okay.
but I didn't hate the characters, so I liked it more.
Okay.
I actually liked the people in it, so
Fair
it's
enough.
good.
There are a bunch of actors from Hill House that are in Bly Manor, or is it just mostly Nell?
There's, I think, like 3 or 4.
Okay.
came
But they're
over.
playing different characters, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm gonna make my standard fall recommendations, which I've been diving back into. The book House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski is a good. I like it in the fall because I just count all of fall as time for scary things. But House of Leaves is kind of a horror book, kind of like a weird exercise in fucking with the medium as far as like weird typesetting and all kinds of stuff. And it's like this weird meta thing about a book within a book that's a book about a movie that doesn't exist. Anyways, it's really good. And the video game Night in the Woods, which I think I've played every year since it came out. I just love it. It's a great like sad time fall game to play. It's real adorable. Yeah, I feel like its adorableness on the surface is in direct contrast with a lot of the themes and stuff that are going on in that game that are really powerful and good. I also am going to recommend here's an HBO show for you for your HBO subscriptions. And I'm going to forget the actual name of it, but it's essentially How To with Josh Wilson, I think is his name. And this is a show that is produced by Nathan Fielder and feels halfway between Nathan For You and Joe Pera Talks With You. Yeah. And it's basically this guy in New York who is making these weekly documentaries about how to do stuff, and the first episode is how to do small talk, and it feels like this guy just walks around New York and films everything and then cuts together these episodes from footage that he gets, because his episodes, he basically is the type of guy that's like, whatever opportunity opens up to me, I'm just going to follow that. But I'm also going to force it into my original idea of how this relates to being better at small talk. So he ends up meeting this guy who tells him, he's like, yeah, in my free time, I catch child predators by like messaging him on Facebook and meeting up. And he just goes to this guy's house like the next day. And like during their whole conversation, he just keeps coming in and voiceover and being like, and that's a bad thing that you can do in small talk, like all this stuff. But it eventually leads to him booking a vacation to Cancun, because he comes to the realization that if you go on vacation, it gives you plenty of ammunition for small talk over the next year. But he ends up going to Cancun the same week that MTV is doing like their huge spring break thing. So he's at all these. Anyways, it's really, it feels like a PBS documentary, except for the moments where it just gets super weird, and then it's like back to being this like very low key and like interesting. It's a wild show. The other thing I was going to recommend, and Tyler already like made fun of me for this, but I stand by, I haven't talked about wrestling in weeks. So many weeks.
See you shaking.
Anyways, I have been watching New Japan Pro Wrestling has a big wrestling tournament that is about a month long that just ended, and so I just decided to go back and actually watch all of it now. And if you're interested in wrestling or have been watching wrestling but never watched New Japan, go watch some of the G1 Climax from this year. It's so good, and it's really great. And all the wrestlers in the tournament, I think this year, I think just about all of them are just so fucking good. It's really great. So go watch some wrestling. Where do you want to go first, Justin? You ready to recommend?
Sure.
Let's hear some Destiny.
I mean, that's basically all that I've been doing for the last little while, and it's really all I'm going to be doing for the next probably 4 weeks. So the plan right now is Beyond Light releases on the 10th or 11th. I can't remember. Actually, I think it's the 10th. And I basically have to grind until then to get my character up to the light level that I need to be at for the release. And then
what is the max light level now?
It is 1060.
Oh fuck.
1060.
Okay.
I'm at 1042.
Oh wow.
But I have a +9 boost from my seasonal artifact. So I'm actually only at like 1033. So
gotcha.
I got a ways to go. But anyways, once Beyond Light releases, then I have until the 22nd, I think. I don't remember.
21st.
21st is raid day.
It's my mom's birthday, so I can remember it.
There we go. 21st.
Is this all some elaborate?
So I have until then to get to the new max, basically, for the raid. And I think that's 12. What is it? 1230, I think. I can't remember. I think the new max will be 1250, but for the raid day, they cap you 20, or I think it's 20 power level below the max. Anyways, I got to be up there because my brother and my cousin, apparently, who's also in my brother's clan, are counting on me as being one of the raid guys now. Like I'm in. I am.
It's like running
now.
a Ragnar. Like
It's yeah, kinda. I got to carry my weight.
one of the anchors.
But so I got like work to do basically. Like this is gonna the week between Beyond Light and the raid, the week and a half, I guess. Like my brother was telling me, he's like, we got to get your alternate characters up to level. I've got these ideas about how you can like grind through things quicker, and you got to like transfer your gear from character to character and do all your bounties with the new stuff. Like
God.
it's
I'm
gonna
getting
be
anxiety right now just hearing
that.
those things.
I expect that week to be pretty rough.
Yeah.
Like I'm having a lot of fun right now because I basically just get to do whatever I want, and I just like it's just fun like
Sure.
to hang out.
It's just putting the time in.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah. Right now, it's a lot of fun. That brings me to my point because this week I actually did, like, this is the recommendation portion of it. My brother took me through a couple, like, there are these quests that you can do that give you exotic weapons. So there's an exotic weapon quest. And there's, like, a bunch of steps that you have to go through in order to get to, complete the quest. It's like, go kill this many bad guys with this kind of weapon on this planet or something. Like, that's kind of an example. But eventually, for the specific weapon that I was going for, there's, like, a secret mission that you get to go through to unlock this weapon. And it takes place... Like, the mission takes place in the tower, which is, like, the main hub for Destiny, where that's, like, where you go to get all of your bounties and stuff that you have to do for the week.
and dance.
And dance with all the other Guardians that are there, yeah. But it's, like, the secret mission that you go and, like... Because, spoilers for a game that's been out for a while, the first campaign for Destiny, like... This bad guy shows up. He basically destroys the base for all of the Guardians, and you lose your light, which is like your superpowers and stuff. And you have to like you go and get it back, and you beat the bad guy. That's like what happens. But the tower gets destroyed in that process, and the secret mission takes place in like the destroyed tower. And it's like it was really cool. It's on a timer. You have to go through it in like 20 minutes in order to like complete the exotic quest. But it's like it was really fun. There's all kinds of... I know we've talked about like first-person jump puzzles, not like...
Yeah.
I really like it in Destiny. Like, I think it's actually kind of adds quite a bit. Like, the platforming aspect to Destiny is kind of fun. And there's a bunch of that in this quest. It's for... Oh shoot, I can't even remember the name of the gun now. You might have done it before, but
That's not, yeah, I can't remember. That's sounding sort of familiar, but anyway.
yeah. But anyways, like just weird, crazy shit like that is, and there's like Destiny's the kind of community where like the developers will put out like these clues to things, and the community all just kind of gets together and is like trying to solve these puzzles. And there's like some really kind of crazy like crazy puzzles that the developers have put into the game over time that the community has solved. At least, like, I mean, I haven't done any of this because I haven't played the game seriously until now. But like that kind of stuff is pretty cool. Like, Blizzard got a lot of shit for what they did with when they released Sombra with like their, what is it called, ARG? I don't even know. It was like they like set up a website you could go to and like decode some stuff, and then there's like the stuff with Doki Doki Literature Club where you can like get the texture or whatever and like map it onto a
Wrap it
3D
around a
texture
cone.
and like like stuff like that. Like Destiny kind of has that kind of stuff a little bit, which I don't know. I really dig that kind of shit, even though I don't participate in it. I just like kind of consume it.
I love reading about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm at. So I find that a lot of fun. I think that I still think that this game is recommendable.
Okay, cool.
That's literally all I have plans to do for the next month. So
Can't wait. I'm excited to watch whatever happens.
I'll probably just stop like recommending things and I'll give you an update once I do the raid if we complete
Yeah,
it.
I need to hear about the raid.
Didn't you were gonna ask me about my Steam profile or something?
Oh no, I thought you were playing on PC.
I am.
I saw you playing on PlayStation earlier today.
Okay, so about that.
Oh shit!
I was
You have a
going.
problem.
I didn't get to play on PlayStation today because it took a fucking hour and a half, 2 hours. It wasn't even done installing, but before I came over here for the podcast tonight. So my plan was I had some downtime between like the kids going to bed and coming over here. It's like I'll just jump on and get a couple bounties done, just to do something because I gotta get this shit done before the
Oh,
raid.
I forgot that it's shared.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a shared account. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's good because then you can
yeah,
do it when you're upstairs.
exactly.
Oh, Tyler, what do you have to recommend for us?
I think it was portable for some reason when I started that sentence. Man. Okay, what did I do? I have some anti-recommendations, I think. I definitely have an anti-recommendation for a Netflix show. Well, first recommendation. I did finish Raised by Wolves. And the last 3 episodes, I don't know how to feel about. I really like the show overall. They just have me worried. A lot of wacky shit happens in rapid fire speed, and it's not explained. And with the way it's presented, I'm not sure if it ever will be. And I think that's a bad thing. It's like in Prometheus. There's a lot of shit like that in Prometheus where it's like, afterwards you're like, wait, why did this thing happen? Wait, why did this thing? And it's like, oh, Ridley Scott just wanted to be fucking weird and didn't really think this movie through. Like, why is he her dad? The Red Letter Media video on this is the best. They just go over Prometheus and just like point out all the stupid shit in that movie. There's some things like that at the end that are just really weird, and maybe they'll be. It definitely leaves off for season 2, and maybe they will answer in season 2. But with the way it's presented, I don't have the highest hopes that they will answer a lot of those things.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure some of them will be, but I don't know. But yeah, overall I enjoyed it. Very, very weird, although a little rushed ending. After that was over, I'm like, well, I've seen good reviews for this Blood of Zeus anime on
Oh God. Okay.
on Netflix.
I was honestly looking at this today and being like, "Did I need to do this?"
And so yeah, I started watching it, and I finished the first episode. Throughout the whole thing, I just found myself going, just scoffing constantly.
I thought you were choking on the blood of Zeus.
I'll put it this way. If you loved the Castlevania series on Netflix, you will love Blood of Zeus. I fucking hate the Castlevania series on Netflix. Someone didn't tell people that, how humans interact. People will say something, and then there'll be the longest pause and they really try and cheat that animation so that no one's moving. So it's like you're watching a still frame in silence.
The episodes are rendered in real time for every user based on the platform they're watching on. It's difficult to, it's hard.
It's deployed to buy premium Netflix so that you can get a faster, realistic.
Optimized for Blood of Zeus.
It's $2 more expensive this week too. Fuck you, Netflix.
How am I gonna watch Blood of Zeus?
I'll tell you how you're gonna watch Blood of Zeus if you really want to.
But yeah, so I feel like Castlevania had all those same problems. Same thing with the voice actors. The director did not let them know that oh, you're outside right now. And they're talking like this, they're mumbling like this, and they're talking and it really fucking pisses me off. And there's a lot of that shit happening.
I feel like you just found your South Park character somehow.
Mumbles. But yeah, that's an anti-recommendation for me, except also a recommendation if you like the stupid Castlevania.
Choose your own recommendation.
You fucking idiot.
Oh man, speaking of mumbles, that's why I said that probably that's the name that came to mind. I watched Dick Tracy, or at least part of it.
Oh god, how does that hold up?
It's a good time, to be honest.
Okay.
It's I mean, it's definitely not the best movie ever. You have to want to watch that type of thing, but it's very unique. Nothing like that really. It was kind of like that era's Sin City.
Sure, yeah.
Very wacky, very comic booky. It's kind of what I wish more comic book movies would do now, and fully embrace the fact that this is a comic book. We're gonna make it a wacky, but also dark at the same time tone. Just make a do actual world building. So yeah. That's cool. Watch Dick Tracy. It's on HBO Max right now.
Oh, cool.
Cyberpunk was delayed, so while I contemplated which bridge to jump off of, I've decided maybe I just need to find something on Steam. So I was frantically searching Steam, couldn't find anything, and I've already played through the Baldur's Gate early access 4 different times now. So I went back to Divinity Original Sin 2, and hot damn, I like it now. I didn't like it before. I like it now. I think Baldur's Gate 3 helped me learn some things. So I won't spend too much time on that. It's good. It's essentially the same game, just with less budget and less cool cutscenes. But yeah, I'm trying to think. There's one more thing I had to talk about, and I can't remember what it is. My main thing is just don't watch Blood of Zeus. I'm done. That's all I got.
Don't watch it. I actually did. That actually reminded me. One other thing I want to recommend, because we played this last night. We played the new Jackbox Party Pack, which I don't think I've ever recommended that on here. Family fucking loves Jackbox. Our extended family, I'm pretty sure all of our cousins who don't play video games have now a platform where they have several Jackbox Party games. This new one has a game called Talking Points, which is essentially you writing the title of a TED Talk. You writing out 3 titles of TED Talks, and then it's sending all 3 options to everyone, and them selecting the TED Talk they're going to give. But then when they get up to present it, someone else is controlling the slides that are behind them for their talk, and it is a fucking riot. To give you the dumbest example, last night my dad gave a TED Talk about how he sleeps better if there's pee-pee and poo-poo in his bed. That was literally the title of his TED Talk. It is a riot. It is really good. I feel like they've tried to do things similar to this in prior ones, and they're not quite as fun, but this one is just it is so fun.
One time I played with Justin, and it was the inventions one. We came up with the same fucking invention.
I don't remember what that was,
It was
but I
a
remember that
chainsaw
happening.
with toilet paper on it so you could wipe your butt in rapid pace.
That's amazing. Oh man, the cutest neighbors.
Because we're super highbrow,
That's amazing.
intelligent adults.
Anyways, that's it for us. We will be back next week. We're going back to kind of our original format, I guess, in a way. We're going to be watching a couple TV shows over the next few months. So we hope you'll pick them up and watch with us and enjoy what's going forward. So we'll start with, I believe we're just watching the first episode of Watchmen next week. I'll update that if that's not true. But yeah, that's it. So you've been here with me, Tyler Harris, and
Justin Hammer.
Tyler McKinley.
Gwen Hammer.
Riley Harris.
And Mitchell. And me. I'm still here.
it's just like the Mystery Science Theater. Mitchell.
I honestly, like, most recommendations didn't come through, and I was like, why am I awake? But I just didn't want to miss this
Oh,
moment.
yeah, please go to bed. I am Mitchell. Thank you so much for being here. We'll look forward to any drops of information we get from you. But yeah, hopefully we can have you on in another time when, I don't know.
If this plague doesn't kill us all, see you guys on Leftover Season 9.
Sounds good. All right, that's all for us. Goodbye.